Steel and Stormbright, The Curse of the Star Wraiths, an exciting sword and sorcery adventure about two brothers trying to make their way in a harsh world. Link in the description. Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios. Weekly Wing It number 103 here on, well, not Rumble tonight, but YouTube. Yeah, unfortunately, having computer issues, so I'm doing this from my phone tonight. But we are here live on YouTube, and starting off with us tonight, that guy right over there is, where is all the buttons on this phone? Ah, here it is. Billy Bobsack.
Kaplaw.
And also joining us is that guy that looks good enough to eat, Mr. Sandwich himself, James Esparza. James, what's up?
Hello, friends. I am a bit under the weather, but I'm good. I got me some hot tea to help soothe my sore throat. I got a runny nose. It's one of those Decembers.
Huh.
You know what
Well,
the
I hear chicken soup goes well with a sandwich.
you know what the treatment in Canada is, right?
I don't know. They'll probably take away your gun just in case you sneeze and shoot somebody.
I thought it was one of them.
No.
One of them
give you,
Kevorkian coffins.
they give you a gun and then they give you a instructional manual to where to point it.
I thought they had them fancy new Kevorkian coffins. They say take a nap in this.
I just heard that Canada banned another 300 weapons, and this time it's like a bunch of 22s and hunting rifles.
Yes, but it's for a good cause. It's to send them to the Ukraine.
Because that's
And
what they need.
speaking of Canada,
22. That's what they need in Ukraine is 22 long rifles.
and speaking of Canada, Mr. Frederick Guimond.
How's it going, everybody? From the 51st state, formerly known as Canada, Quebec. It's really cold out here.
You know,
but, we're streaming back to the drawing board.
Tim Pool made an excellent argument about why we don't want Canada and U.S. That's way too much liberals. It's just going to tip the scale too much.
Oh, come on. I would like to claim the trailer park boys. They'd fit right in with the rest of us.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We would also gain a bunch of normal people as well from Canada, and then once they get a taste of real freedom,
they don't know
really hard.
Well, your average Canadian can't handle real freedom. Okay, they're born in chains. They are. Frederick woke up from the Matrix. Like, dude, why my arms so heavy? Whoa, where'd these chains come from?
It's true.
Well,
it's called taxes.
What happened, Frequency? He's freaking out.
Yeah, I lost. I'm looking for. I think I actually went to a new tab. Apparently, I'm still connected. I can hear you. I cannot find it, though.
Welcome to the weekly Boomering It.
I'm Gen X. Get it right. Where's my StreamYards tab?
So anyways, James, what you been up to this week? All right, sandwich is dead. Frederick.
Go ahead, James.
This week I've just been getting a lot of work done, scripts done for upcoming videos. Working on part 2 of my Whitlow Radio. The first one, a lot of people liked it. Go check that out on the YouTube channel, World Without End Lord at YouTube. Right now,
put the link in the private chat and we can link it.
Yeah. Besides that, I'm working on a bunch of side stuff that is yet to be unveiled, but real exciting stuff that this cold is only holding back.
And there was my phone.
Well,
All right.
over in the chat, we got King Bob and Christy. How you two doing tonight?
Frederick,
Hey, 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 how's it going?
we've been doing this past week.
Listen, I finished the 2 pages of Rattel, at least finished penciling them, which is pretty cool. And I started working on Otter's commission. And I got some colored art from my colorists. Do you want to see?
Show it.
Hold on, I got it over here. I printed it out from my new super awesome scanner printer. I hope this is not going to bounce the light too much. A little bit. Hold on. Let me move this out of the way. And if I turn this off. Okay.
Looks nice.
There you go. Some minimal reflection here. But this is a printout of what he sent me from the line art. Pretty impressed. I could not do this level of coloring, so I'm pretty stoked.
Nice.
And in case you didn't see it the first time, this is a Akira homage. This is the first piece of coloring work that he
I
did.
love that one.
His name is Ross Campbell, by the way. Ross the Red on Twitter.
I like
love
his gradient work.
If you think that coloring's impressive, wait until you see mine of your piece. It's
Yeah, right.
gonna be amazing, yeah.
Can't wait to see that. And now I'm back to work on doing some blue line for page, I think this is what, page 16? I think so.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Why blue line? Like, what's up with the blue line?
Because I was fixing some old scans from the earlier pages, and if you do all your sketches in pencil, sometimes you'll get like leftover pencil lines, even if you try to erase everything. So blue line doesn't get picked up by the scanner; it's much cleaner. I'll go over the blue line with clean pencils, but like everything's going to be well defined when I hit it with the pencils.
Raven.
Oh, that's really cool.
Hey, how's everything going tonight?
Hey, Raven, how you doing?
Good. Looks like silver is on the rise again.
His silver addiction. It's just it's got him hooked, you know.
Well, you know, there's money in it.
He's probably afraid of vampires.
Yes, I have a silver addiction. I cannot be a vampire.
Oh, I also
Hail
purchased
Andrew
some,
Campbell.
A vampire would say, you know.
purchased some,
on,
some
like,
new reading material this month.
Like we're in the modern world, so let's say a vampire gets like some type of medicine that, you know, so he doesn't like light on fire when he touches it. It's possible.
Like wearing
Colloidal
gloves.
silver.
Yeah, Raven, we've never seen you, so you know, you may be wearing gloves while you're buying it and like a face
You know,
mask and everything.
I'm actually gonna write that down. That'd be funny for a joke. I'm a vampire. And you go into his house. Be careful there. I collect silver coins. I know, vampire and all that. But what can I say? Renegade for life.
Do they ever have trouble being electricians or doing electrical work because silver is often used as a conductor?
Wait, so let's also ask this question: is garlic deadly to them, or is it just like kind of like lactose intolerant?
I figure it's more of an allergic reaction.
Raven, we've never seen you talk about eating anything with garlic in it either. I mean, it's not looking good for you.
I like garlic bread.
What if garlic actually gives them the runs? They just like, oh, my stomach. I gotta go.
And I love onions on stuff, so.
I like fried onions.
Yeah, but vampires aren't scared of onions.
Like, have you seen the movie Monster Squad? Got some Monster Squad fans opinion?
Wolfman's got nards.
That's the one. I like that scene when the kid pulls out a piece of pizza that has garlic on it and he uses it to defend himself against Dracula. Right to the face and it burns his flesh.
All right.
Here's a pie in the face.
Since we are in the time of Christmas, favorite Christmas movies, everybody. Let's hear 'em.
Ooh.
First Blood.
Lord of the Rings, all of them.
Does First Blood take place in Christmas?
Yes. Did you not see the meme I posted earlier?
That's true, it does.
When
And
yeah.
I'm open to the idea that First Blood can be a Christmas movie because, like, it seems that just to be a Christmas movie, Christmas has to be a thing going on in the background.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
well, like the Die Hard movies. And
That's right. First
in-
two.
in First Blood, whenever he's finally taken into the police station or whatever, you see Christmas trees in the background and other stuff going on. So it's definitely Christmas time.
Oh,
Like
Christina, are you trying to say you're a vampire now?
She'd actually try and claim that.
women are often adverse to seeing themselves premiere.
All right, Frederick. I don't know if y'all celebrate Christmas or not.
Yes, it's called Batman Returns.
Frequency?
Oh, I'm Die Hard all the way for Christmas. Andrew Campbell says Die Hard is a Hallmark Christmas movie. Guy travels across the country to rekindle a relationship with his ex-wife at Christmas.
Yes,
Well, maybe
definitely.
Christmas movie plot.
Oh, and Christy says, nope, she's not a vampire. She's a lichen. Oh.
She's a lycanthrope.
Well, her old handle was Lady Wolf.
She wolf. All righty, Raven. What you been up to this week?
Oh gosh. Trying to work beards into the story. I realized I had forgot to shave one day and then realized, you know what, crap. This half elf is a young man. He's been in a mine for like probably a week. He's probably got some hairs growing on his face. And that's probably causing him some frustration because he's half elf and he's grown up with the elves. He dislikes all the facial hair. But then also that I'm trying to figure out if that maybe might give him some clues about the halfling that he's running around with in the mines.
What?
So he's initially he's a sailor on a ship. They get boarded by pirates. They get sold into slavery, and they end up working the mines trying to dig out ore. And the person that he initially gets thrown in with is a halfling, and they keep moving the prisoners around to different pairs of people, and they constantly pull them apart and put them together with somebody else. So each morning you get pulled apart from the person that you were with the night before, and you get sent to work in the mines with somebody else. So you're always ending up with a different partner for mining, and you're also ending up with a different roommate each night. Well, the halfling has figured out the movements that they do to move people around, and he's able to keep ending up. The two of them keep ending up together on each of the different spots because halflings figured out the movements and stuff. And he figures that the halfling's a guy. Doesn't
Why, 'cause he
really
was trying to have sex with it?
no.
And he said, "Oh my God, it's a penis."
Just most of the people that are in the slave pits are dudes because they're mining ore. Goodness.
Frequency, you gotta mute your other one.
Yep.
I don't think that computer's gonna last for long.
No, it's probably not. Restarting it seemed to do the trick, though.
We'll see
Maybe.
how long you last.
Yeah, I mean, I was in here earlier on the computer and it booted me, so we shall see.
Anyways, back to it, Raven.
Yeah, and so anyways, it's not till later after they escape and are finally able to sell off the junk that they escaped with and buy actual clothes. and somewhere after that point, that he figures out that the halfling is actually female.
That he was bathing with.
No, not bathing with, just stuck in the slave mines mining ore.
So he just thought he had a really tiny penis.
Hail AC Pritchard, how you doing tonight, man? He says hit that like button, or no, he says smash that like button, gang. Thanks, AC.
Hey, Pritchard.
They're saying this halfling was very mannish.
Well, he just they're all covered in rags. Not not very obvious that the halfling is anything other than a halfling. Kind of like dwarves in Tolkien's works.
So this is kind of a rags to bitches story.
Yes. Oh, frequency.
Yeah.
What have you been doing this week?
Very productive. I spent the last week and a half playing Sundered.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think you're on like Cybertron right now.
Cybertron, what do you mean?
You were roboting.
Am I still right now?
Yes and no, kind of. Depends.
Twin P is the Lord Board. Hale, how you doing? He said Billy Bob has a certain affection for diminuting. Oh, that, yeah.
Wow, your internet is sounding like my internet was yesterday.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, I can't tell that I'm roboting. Everything seems normal on my end, but
You might have to
whatever
switch back
it
to
is.
the phone.
Yeah,
your computer is not happy.
My internet provider sent me a new modem and complained that I hadn't turned in the old one. So I figured, I'll go set it up. And it would work for an hour or two. And then everything was buffering. There's no internet connection. I go and reset everything and suddenly it started working again, right? Because you rebooted all the stuff and everything. And about an hour or two later, basically the same thing, no internet again. I'm like, what in the world's going on? It's Sunday, so like all of their store locations are closed. It's really hard to get a hold of support. Luckily, I was finally able to get a hold of support, and the guy was looking at stuff and is like, it actually looks like it's trying to download an update and it's getting stuck in the middle of the update. And so he was able to reset it. I unplugged everything, plugged it all back in again, and he was able to watch it, and it finally took the update and finally finished. So I'm hoping I have internet tonight.
All right, frequency. There's two things. Which one are you trying to use?
I think I'm on the right one.
You're
Can
on
you
the
hear
phone.
me?
Yes.
We can hear you now.
All right, because the other
Loud
one's
and
still in the
clear.
backstage, I think, just in case.
All righty, frequency.
All right, so what I was saying was this past week I was playing Sundered, and well, a week and a half more like it. Big thanks to Rondo. He turned me on to that game, and I finished it last night.
Nice.
Now there are three possible endings to that. The whole idea is it's called Sundered Eldritch Edition, and there's this being called the Shining Trapezohedron, and he keeps trying to get you to corrupt your powers the whole time with elder shards. And instead, I just took them and threw them all in an incinerator and vaped them, and he was pretty ticked off at me. So at the end, I ended
Vaped
up. I can't pronounce the actual name. It's some big long name, bunch of letters shoved together that don't belong together with some apostrophes in there. But so I just kept calling him Trapster. And at the end, because I went and ruined all his shards and everything, I ended up having to fight against him. So I ended up. I for lack of better words, put them on a t-shirt, and then I ended up stuck in the nethers for all eternity. But now Trapster can't bother the humanity anymore. So roundabout way, I win.
Nice. So you murdered him in cold blood, right?
Oh no, he tried to kill me first. He's the one who dragged me down there, so that's what he gets for pulling down a defiant prick.
Yeah, anytime anybody tries to murder you, you just murder them right back.
That's
I see,
right. Malcolm Reynolds told me so.
Yes.
I see Eveli is using the hard R in chat there.
What's up, Everly?
Hey, Emily.
Hey, how's it going, Emily?
Alrighty. It's been I think, pretty slow week. What's been going on? And y'all been keeping up with anything?
Canadian gun ban. That's a fun one.
I thought that was just a constant thing.
Oh yeah, basically, but just a lot of guns. Like 300 this time.
Frederick was
Really
crying.
terrible. And a lot of them are like just collector's items, like guns that are like thousands upon thousands of dollars just to purchase that nobody would ever actually use. Yeah. Imagine that having a gun that's a collector's item, and now you gotta give it to Ukraine.
It's a terrible idea through and through.
Yeah.
And then what was Bitcoin up to now?
It went up to 100,000, so it's been
Yeah.
hovering around that for about a week. So from 100 to now we're down to 98.
Did it make you cry when it went down?
Well, when you're talking about it crashing to like 96, it's kind of a hilarious number to be quote unquote crashing to, you know?
Yeah.
He's been saying it's crashing to that.
Yes, it's crashing.
There's
a
always
lot.
somebody out there, some detractors.
I thought it was someone in specific that
Yeah,
you're
well,
referencing.
There's a lot of people that buy in at the 100,000 going, oh yeah, it's going to go bigger. It's going to go bigger. And they buy in at the height because at least somebody's buying at that price. Otherwise it wouldn't go that high. And then shortly thereafter, the price drops off. And so they're mad that they're not making their money. So they turn around and sell it as a loss.
By the way, this one's just for you, Frederick. Do you see it?
My bro has some Doge.
Oh, that's another thing. The Hawk 2.
I'm gonna get some of that sweet, sweet Hawk Tua coin.
Yeah, the Hawk 2.
Going straight to jail.
Yeah, she was in Nashville at the conference at the same time Trump was giving his speech. What can I say? Like, if you're buying a meme coin from a,
So you're telling me I was like less than like what, maybe 5 miles away from this Hawk 2 bitch
yeah,
that night? Ugh,
yeah.
that's kind of disgusting.
I'd stay away from her if I were you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you guys think she has any clue what's even going on?
Probably
Uh,
not. I think she was taking for a good ride.
Yeah.
Think
I
she's
think
a
she
scapegoat?
Yeah, I think she was told a bunch of stuff and she went ahead. She thought it was a great idea and she didn't have anybody actually going through and looking at the details. She probably had no clue what she was getting into. She thought she might make a couple of bucks. And
Oh, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, wasn't she like? She was really trying to defend.
She's
position.
getting 50%
is.
of everything that's coming through this project. So she's half the, she's
She
taking
actually,
half
I
of the
was
top.
her lawyer soon replied to I think it was like a couple days ago that she's getting
Yes,
like
he did.
actually like only like
Correct.
less than
Yeah.
20%, something like that. So I
No,
think
but-
that
So you're saying
Probably.
her and her lawyer are in on it as well?
possibly.
I mean, I think if you're just going to pull a rug pull like this, it's a pretty dumb idea.
Yeah.
So either
This
she
is-
has one of the dumbest criminals on earth, or she was taken for a ride.
Well, she's 22 years
Yeah.
old, so I think
Yeah, I don't think she's got any clue what's going on. She's just doing what her handlers are telling her to do, and she's got no idea what she got into.
yeah, she
That's
tried to
my
make
guess. Who
Listen,
knows? She
she's
could
gonna
be a
be
criminal
fine.
mastermind for all I know.
She's not the mastermind, but I'm pretty sure she knew what she was getting into, that she was scamming people off of a meme coin, and she saw some dollar signs and she went for it.
Yeah,
I believe she saw some dollar signs and went along with it, not realizing anything shady was actually happening.
Well, she's
However,
gonna be
you never know.
she's gonna be hawk tuing on some roast beef soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
I see. Evelai says digital was cool, but physical was better. I concur. Got a handful of books. One of them is one of the books I picked up is The Man Eaters of Savo, or The Savo Man Eaters. And I also picked up the DVD that's based off the book, which goes by the much more popular title, The Ghost in the Darkness. So I read the book, listened to the audiobook, and watched the movie. It was a delight. The book is way better.
Every says that chick is a walking psyop. She might be AI. Until I meet her father, she doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I agree. That she's a psyop.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to meet her father?
Mint ice cream.
Do you want to meet her father, really? I mean, seems like he did a pretty bad job when she became famous for having no shame in saying she will hawk two on a dick on fucking camera on the internet.
Yeah, and then she got a deal by Logan Paul.
I think the only reason she became famous for that was the contrast, because at a time a bunch of women were being interviewed and talking down about men. She actually came out and said something about being enthusiastic toward them, and that's why her fame shot way up. Because it wasn't just a man on the street interview. She was there at random, and that's how she became known.
Yeah, it was the interview, like chick stuff, whatever they do. A lot of people do that. It just went viral. But like everything that goes viral, eventually it fucking fades off. In her case,
in her case,
I think Mark Cuban was involved in that coin thing that she had, and I think he was the brilliant mastermind behind all of that. Just like he was behind Kamala Harris.
Look at that puppy.
Oh, did y'all see the video of Kamala Harris where she was like clearly fucking like wasted drunk?
Yes.
Have y'all? Any of y'all? The rest of y'all?
Hey, thanks for stopping in, Christy. You have a good night.
I don't think I have. Is
Yeah,
it the
it was
one
like-
that people were memeing and adding like a bottle in her hand?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, but she was actually drunk, like
Okay.
100% drunk.
Oh, I just saw clips of it. I didn't really pay attention to that one.
Also, Frederick, look, you can see kind of in the background how I got my own investments. I know they put me down here. Right here, see? I talk all about my investments all the time. Canned food, the way of the future and the past.
Nice.
All right? You never have to worry about that losing value, only going bad on you.
Well, that's
Fall
kind
out.
of losing its value if he goes bad.
No, you're not. No, you can still chuck it at someone's head, Frederick.
Yep. You can trade it too, because somebody else might eat it.
Yeah, well, there probably is someone who will eat it.
Yeah,
It's still
exactly.
good, about at least a year after expiration date. You're good.
At the very least, you could get a few bottle caps in exchange.
Yeah.
And then I should also invest in Twinkies. Last much longer.
Twinkies?
Twinkies. They last a really long time. And it's a luxury food. I guarantee you, women will be giving away their bodies for a Twinkie in their pockets.
Did you tell him about the Twinkie? What about the Twinkie?
That's a big Twinkie. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Ernie Hudson just for generally being a good actor.
Nice. I'll be right back. Carry the
No,
show.
actually, that was a can of beans, Evil Eye. The sandwich has charm, but nothing beats talking to a fellow human. Am I right, fellow human? I don't know. I guess we could always invite AOC. She's more human than I am. I would.
The Marine from the New York City subsystem that was being prosecuted,
Yeah.
or I guess persecuted.
Daniel Pennyworth or Penny?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
He's been set free, or I guess the jurors
Acquitted on
came
all
back.
charges.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
So BLM are threatening to do riots now that he was free.
Yeah.
Apparently,
They would have went rioting anyways.
Oh,
Like
they're
what's
always
the-
looking for a good reason to riot. A lot of people are nowadays. It's the thing to do.
Yep.
Like, oh, please give us a political reason to riot. We need our boogeyman.
Wow. I get it. Ayo, no thanks. Oh, that's clever. That's real clever. Look at the good news,
well,
man. At
Now,
least Donald Trump's going to be president.
now I just got to do it.
Jewish space laser.
Speaking of space lasers, did you guys hear about Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, what happened?
So who's that British guy that does the talk show stuff and has different people on his show?
Pierce Morgan.
Yes, he had Neil deGrasse Tyson on the other night, or at least I think, because I know Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about the crazy stuff months ago, but apparently he's suddenly come back on to Piers Morgan and he's talking about it again. How I think it was like boxing. In boxing, we shouldn't do like women's boxing versus men's boxing. We should just like throw them all together and then just do testosterone testing to put them into categories and stuff. And it's like,
What?
but
Wow.
we have weight categories. That's what the weight categories, and then the male versus female groups are for. But yeah,
He's supposed to be a scientist, right?
Lots
Yeah,
of scientists are insane.
Is he
After
not
what
familiar
Sullivan-
with fast twitch muscle fiber, bone density, all that stuff?
yeah. And,
Well, he's not a
and
biologist.
apparently,
Apparently not.
I guess he got Me Too'd, and it was like shortly after he got Me Too'd, that's where he's gone in completely non-scientific. But I guess that's the new religion of science now is not actually being scientific, and then complaining that people aren't following the science.
I am the science.
Hello,
Yep, the head
Fauci.
priest.
I rave. I don't feel like rioting, says King Bob. AC Pritchard said, my bones identify as granite. And it also says a Bob rave would be out of control.
What is the lettering on that, Frederick?
You mean what does it spell?
Yeah.
It's the name of the club is called Limelight.
Okay.
It's going to be lots of buzzing lights. So, Limelight, Lite.
Yep. It's looking good.
Thank you. Trying to do those nice little panels that grab your attention, make interesting pages. Because I've been guilty of doing boring panels for some pages earlier in the comic book, so I'm trying to
Really?
catch up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, a few pages are kind of standard, which is fine once in a while. But I want to make sure that you got some nice standout pages as well. We're about to
Roger.
jump right into an action sequence as well. Like in 2 pages, the fight breaks out. So it's going to be cool. The last part of the comic is a fight between those 3 guys. So it should be a lot of fun.
Prove it.
Yeah.
It's things are in motion. coming along.
You're moving differently now.
No, nothing like that. Moving differently. What are you detracting?
So, James, have you been playing any of the telepathic pig game?
No, but I released a story based off of my experiences, so to say. It was the latest one. I can tell you haven't read it because you haven't brought it up frequency. Because if you've read it, you definitely be bringing it up. So you need to go read that, so that way you can bring it up.
Alrighty. I will get that read this week.
Once
Listen,
you get to
Evelyn
the
and
end,
AC
it'll
are-
all make sense, or bring forth more questions. Probably the
A little
So
bit
yeah,
of both.
tell us about the personality of this character, Frederick.
Which one? This, so this is the Russian psychic spy. So basically, she's evaded the big bank boss and she's trying to escape under his control, but they're sending out these two tiger twins, these Chinese specialists in tracking and finding people. Because
Yeah, but tell us about her personality.
well, she's got a kind of dual personality, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because she's a secret agent, right? Right.
Yeah, there's like a lot of mind control involved, and things bubble up in her mind, and you never know which personality you're looking at. So it should be interesting.
Continue.
Well, I can't reveal everything, you know. I've got to leave a little bit of mystery. You got to always leave a little bit to mystery, I find.
I see, kind of like a Crispin Glover.
Now this is for the. Is this the card art?
No, this is actually a page.
He's so tiny.
See, she's taken up the full height of the page, and you got one panel here, another panel here, and a final panel right here.
Why, hello.
What's
AC,
up,
I'm
Otter?
gonna correct you. It's not bat sauce. It's butt sauce.
Butt sauce, of course. I'm doing all right. How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good. How you doing, Otter?
Good.
I can't really complain, honestly. Getting some artwork commissioned, getting a few things done, just going through some polishing with my manuscript. Seems like things are getting close to being finished, hopefully. So that's where things are right now for me.
Hail John A. Douglas. He got here just in time.
Hail, good sir.
Honk honk.
I like
Honk,
John. I
honk.
like trolling him on Twitter.
Yeah, there's two female characters on this page that are worth looking at.
Cinnamon
Yeah,
is
there's
good.
2 reasons for me to look now. 2 big ol' reasons.
Evelyn's grounded via AC Pritchard. Yeah, AC Pritchard's a dad, so he has the power to ground people.
Yeah, but also Path of Exiles 2 early access launch this week.
Saw that.
A
Yeah.
Ooh.
lot of
Second-
people have been talking about it.
The second Chinese game to get a shit ton of to kind of take over the industry, I should say.
Is it a Chinese game?
Yeah, is it
Yeah.
Chinese?
No, it's Australian. It's not Chinese.
It's
Path
got
of
this
Exile.
10 cents. Got some stakes in that one.
No, we're talking about
I-
Path of Exile.
I
Yeah.
think A Drink with Crazy just uploaded a video tonight on that. Oh, and speaking of which,
Comic Shop Wednesdays. Weekly live stream starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, hosted by Royce from A Drink with Crazy, where he goes over upcoming books, comics, games, and more. Link in the description.
Yeah, I convinced
Don't-
Albert to pick it up.
And then the Marvel game, Marvel something or other. It looks fun, but it's also
Marvel Rivals. That one's Chinese. Yeah.
Well, it's also Disney and
Rivals? No, that's not Disney.
What was that, Billy? You're like
No, it's
deep
not a
throating your
Disney
mic
one.
or something.
that was my reaction to Disney.
Oh, fair enough.
Marvel Rivals is Marvel Comics, right?
Passive lame.
Yeah, but they're not going through Disney to do the game because the
No.
game is like has nothing woke in it.
that's China. I think that's the kind of shtick is to push wokeness
Yeah, but
from
they're
American
still licensed
developers,
to Disney.
and then just
I don't know the details of the agreement though. So they're bypassing the woke people, so they're not like they're not forced to cater to the woke feedback like Ubisoft is.
Can anybody tell me what's going on Twitter or X right now? It feels like for the longest time we've been pushing back against like more masculine and, well, frankly, ugly female characters in games, and you're getting more games kind of like Stellar Blade and First Descendant, which they're relatively minor, all things considered, but now you're getting these controversies called, like, what are they calling it, Gooner Gate or something, where it's like it's like they're taking those few games and arguing that it's like every game that Korean devs put out is like borderline porn games or something, and I'm like, what am I witnessing here?
Yeah, this
Like,
was coming from
they swapped
Melanie
on it
Beck
on a dime.
running it 'cause she was like,
honestly,
Stellar Blade, which is all about jiggle physics, but you know, I digress.
Yeah, we went from, oh, this is empowering to females, to all of a sudden now it's degenerate porn. I'm like, what?
I would
How did
say
we
a
go from
we.
here to here in like 2 days?
It's the internet.
Evelyn, let's put it like this: you weren't buying Stellar Blade for the insanely unique gameplay of your story. You know why you were buying it. Come on.
I mean, it's the internet. Frankly, I guarantee you, I haven't heard of what it is, but I guarantee you it's something like this. One big personality said something, another big personality said something against it, other big personalities got into the conversation, and all of a sudden it became a thing, when it's really like 4 people having a conversation.
Well, the funny thing is, there was TFD, which I play. There's no nudity in the game.
By the way, 3/4 view games. Is that like the top-down view?
The what?
3/4 view games, Evelyn mentioned.
I'm guessing. I
3/4
guess
view games.
the isometric.
Is that like Legend of Zelda type view, or
No,
It's,
like Diablo.
Yeah, it's isometric.
Oh,
it's kinda like-
isometric.
So you ever seen the original Fallouts? Or isometric?
Diablo, Path of Exile, Baldur's Gate, any
Yeah, the
game kind of
original.
like that.
The original Baldur's Gate.
no? I've been stuck with my side scrollers most of my life, so I'm not sure.
There are some really good isometric games out there.
It all it really means is high up from a view, tilted. It's really what the view is when you think.
So wouldn't Legend of Zelda count?
No, that's top down. It's a bit different. So, like, isometric takes it from kind of like, think of like if the angle was tilted just a little bit, where you're kind of looking at it from an kind of like a diagonal point of view.
Spyro.
Kind of. Trying to think of another good
Diablo.
example. Yeah, Diablo is the most iconic example you can probably list. It's really where whenever your character is moving, they're not going up, down, left, or right. They're going sideways, more often than not.
Akari Warriors? No, that's still top down, I think.
We can bring up like a quick video or something like that if we want to show frequency, like what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Evelyn,
Just look up
reply
a screenshot or an image. You don't have to show a game.
replying to Evelyn real quick. Like, we're in the age of hyperbole. Everything's the best ever, masterpiece ever, greatest ever, worstest ever. It's just where we are.
It's the
Unfortunately,
bestest ever.
If it's the bestest ever, I'm considering it okay to good.
Yeah,
Until I
from
get
what
that
I've
hands
seen
on.
of Stellar Blade, I think most people are playing it for the jiggle physics. The game looks fun, like it does, but I see the story, I'm like, this looks very generic. The world building looks really generic.
Right. Once again, what happened? People were really excited because they updated
ass,
the jiggle
titties.
physics to have compression to them.
ass, and titties, and ass, and sword here and there, and some more titties.
Well,
and
First
ass.
Descendant is very similar. It's similar pros and cons. The only real difference is it's looter shooter instead of like a brawler. And that's kind of why I can't get into First Descendant. like I can look past like the stale like story and world building. Like TNA is a nice plus, but it's like the game itself has got to be fun for me to stick with it. And Stellar Blade, I'm more likely to enjoy it because I enjoy Souls-like games. I also enjoy brawlers, so I'm like I can see myself getting into that sooner than First Descendant, where I really couldn't care about looter shooters.
Otter, we know you're getting in it for the tits, okay?
I'm kind of nullified. I've noticed this. I'm nullified to tits and ass in video games. They mean nothing to me.
All right, you have a great night, King Bob. It's good to see you.
It's a
Thanks for
lot, it's a
stopping in,
little-
man.
See you,
Like
King
there's a
Bob.
lot of tits and ass. There's a little. It doesn't really mean much to me.
When you
Well,
say looter shooter, is that something like Smash TV?
So looter shooters, think of like Borderlands. That's like a quintessential example of a looter shooter.
You kill you kill like a group of enemies. They drop 18 items. You get to pick up whatever you want,
This one
and then
sounds
you
like a
essentially
hooter
just get
shooter.
you essentially just upgrade your weapons by switching them out.
That's kind of what I've heard, Ebele. It doesn't sound like the gameplay is amazing or anything. I've heard it's serviceable. I've seen a decent few genuine reviews of the game, and I've heard it listed. It's kind of like a 7 out of 10 type of game. It's good, but it's not going to win any awards or
Wait, he's
anything like
upset
that.
you can't change your hair color?
I don't think it's that.
No eye
customizable.
color controls. Yeah, make them green.
Listen, they'll eventually add a DLC, they'll do it, you know?
Comes to PC, and then it's going to be modded like crazy. Like, you know it's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, another reason why I think the whole outrage against the quote-unquote Gooner Gate is kind of stupid. It's like, here's the thing. I actually see this as kind of like a pushback against woke media in a lot of ways. And it's like, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of degeneracy involved. No, you don't have to be along with it. You don't have to spend your money on it either. But I don't think you're going to be able to quell it either. Because that's the thing. It's like the more you divide people, the greater the pushback is going to be. So it's like, without a balance, it's like, yeah, there's going to be more radical examples like that. For every Dragon Age Veilguard you get, you're going to get a Stellar Blade or something like that. Like that.
Or my Shiranui from King of Fighters.
Yeah,
I'm just
Or
I'm
just
not
bring
sure
back
any form
bring
of
back
stuff. I'm done with
bring
it.
back the Dead or Alive franchise. There you go.
well,
just
that's
don't
the thing.
care.
It's like games like this are nothing new. I'm like, I think this is just Twitter trying to find an excuse to be offended over something.
Man, wait until they actually. You know, there is an actual genre of games that they're trying to refer to. It isn't the First Ascendant.
The
It's
hentai game?
Teleblade. It's called Gotcha Games.
Yes, and
What's up, Foo?
it's all over the place with gotcha games.
They do seem to have a lot of titties in Gotcha games.
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
Well, their whole
Cell,
thing is
those
you're
games are all
collecting
about
waifus.
hooking you with your money.
Literally, the point of the games are you collect waifus and shit, and it's like degenerate, like jiggle physics. Listen, they know what they're doing.
I know a few people in a couple of Discord servers who play those gotcha games, and it's like they're fully aware of what's going on too. It's like it's very like cheap, like low hanging fruit for marketing. It's like they know what they're doing. Like it's a very easy way to get a profit.
Like Sybil plays what was it?
Nikkei.
Nikkei, yeah.
That game is so transparently a gotcha game. It's like it's not even funny. I think I watched an Asmongold video that went through the trailer, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's not even trying to hide it."
Oh, I need to look up the video. Them games have nothing on one that I can tell you about, Otter.
I know. So I'm friends with Elvin Maiden. We'll call her Emmy for short. She's been playing what is it? It's like a recent gotcha game that came out. It's like a Chinese like gotcha game, but it's also like incredibly transparent. Like, yeah, it's marketed for that purpose, and I'm like, this is not even hiding it. Like, it's super, really
Otter-
super transparent.
I need to remember the name of the game. It's not even it's not in English at all. It's not even in the West. Technically, you have to buy it from I think China or Korea or some shit. It's only there. It is like an extreme degenerate fucking game.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Games like that, they know that degenerates are going to be like spending like hundreds of dollars or whatever equivalent currency just to buy all the waifus. That's
That would be
literally all the.
hilarious. It'd be hilarious in like 10 years. You need some sort of rehab for the degenerates just giving too much money to gotcha games.
There probably already is. I mean,
That's true.
not just even gotcha games.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get there, you probably got your problems are beyond video games.
Star Citizen. Anybody? Star Citizen?
Oh yeah, I mean that's
Oh, boy.
yeah.
Star Citizen just makes me sad. I
That's
feel bad
another
for the
type. I
people
think-
who worked over a lot of money for that game.
Yeah, dude. Early on, I knew a guy who dropped over $2,000 saying, "Don't worry, guys, I got us like eats a ship. Our entire freaking guild, when we get in this game, we're gonna have like the largest fleet." This is like year one. Holy shit! That guild isn't even together anymore. It's gone.
$2,000. That's weak sauce in Star Citizen.
You're
Yeah,
spending
but
like
this was year
$4,000 for a JPEG.
Yeah.
Like people
Yeah.
have spent the equivalent of like multiple fucking houses on that. By the way,
It's been
JPEGs, not even actual the ship in the game. A
So
fucking
here's the thing:
picture
if they
of
were to
maybe
start adding,
be made at some point.
if they were to start adding in big tits, would it become a gotcha game?
No. Unless it has like an actual RNG system and you're like paying for percentage drops and shit like that, then technically
Not
yeah, it would be a
yet.
gotcha game. Which the way it's looking with they're not doing so well. Company making Star Citizen, like they're not selling that many ships as they should. They're spending an exorbitant amount of money every month. So who knows? They might add some gotcha in there. They'll probably make it. You have to have an Android for each ship, right? That's how they do it. Also, you need to turn that music down just a little bit, frequency. Where'd frequency go?
I'm right here. I'm trying to turn it down.
But yeah. Anyways, Otter, what have you been doing this week?
Well, aside from writing, getting back into reading, lately I've been reading through Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. Great poem,
Fun.
very crude in places, which I did not expect. I'm also getting back into Final Fantasy XIV, which has been a lot of fun lately.
Yes, and he's playing what he's always been, a gay cat boy.
Oh boy. That's the thing. I think most of the characters in like recent Final Fantasy games are just a little bit gay, like just from their design. their
No,
character
coming
design.
from Final Fantasy and their fan. No,
Well, it
couldn't
Like-
be.
like it's just this step away from like being a JoJo's character. A lot of them, they've got these like very flamboyant fashion designs and everything, and it's like
From
the
Final
the
Fantasy?
combat is really flashy, like overly so.
Who would have thunk from Final Fantasy?
I'm still enjoying the game though. It like the gameplay's fun. Story for the most part is good too. It just
Oh.
depends.
You were supposed to bring up the Diablo screenshot.
Oh yeah, let me bring it up
Isometric.
real quick.
I don't know. You showed me the one chick that you said like the community simps over, and she's very mid. I don't see it. Yeah.
It's about the best you're getting with that.
Didn't
game.
realize I was on mute. Sorry.
Like Final Fantasy XIV is like the opposite of a gotcha game in that respect.
Well, while you're looking for that picture, here's a upcoming game for 2025. I saw that I thought looks like it might be interesting. Let's check it out. It's called Memories in Orbit.
It's lagging really bad. Lagging really bad. Really badly lagging.
Yep.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, it is.
Well, bummer. I
What an
tried.
interesting game for 2025.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That just represents the modern video game industry right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't share screen off. I had to go do it at the laptop. I can't do it off the phone. I've looked all over. It doesn't give me the option. And apparently, doing it on my laptop it isn't an option either.
All right, Frequency. I've got the image pulled up. So
All right.
that's what an isometric
Ah,
game looks like. It's from a
Diablo.
certain angle.
Oh, gotcha. So
Oh,
that's
damn.
kind of like Spyro,
Yeah, here is
or the
Baldur's
Game
Gate
Boy
1.
version of Spyro, anyway.
Baldur's Gate 1 is also isometric. So it's not like top down. It takes place from like an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really good isometric games out there. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I personally like Pillars of Eternity quite a bit. That's a really good like isometric game. What else is there? The Diablo games, of course. Path of Exile is really fun. Really enjoy Path of Exile.
Fallout 1 and 2.
Fallout 1 and 2. I love Fallout 1 and 2.
The XCOM games, I think, fall underneath that.
Yes, they are.
Great
At the
games.
very least, the original is definitely like isometric. I think Enemy Unknown is isometric. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it's isometric.
Okay.
And
Well, John A.
sequel, this is
Douglas
great.
says he's got a huge selection of indies for his end of year book haul.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
And
Yeah, I'll
Everly
check
Music says that he and Batch are going to do Phenomenova review here soon. Here, I'm still arc reading for Jay Sebastian. Nice. Yeah, I got my copy of Phenomenova right here. There we go.
Nice, nice. I picked up some indies as well. I got the second quarterly from Jacob Kalta from his 369 Infantry. So I'll be reading into that. And I also picked up one that was very interesting. I actually found it through an interview I was doing, a True Crime interview. This gentleman wrote a 11-book series based on his exploits, but he calls them fictional. I don't know how much is or isn't in these books. But he was a cartel drug mule for 15 years, turned kingpin, who turned informant, and because his information work was so good and him working for the man was so good, they made him an official government asset. So while he was about his life, he became a preacher. He preached at this church for a number of years. For 17 years, he would go about preaching to the homeless, and every now and then he'd get a phone call from his handlers, tell him, "Hey, it's time to go back to cover. We need you to infiltrate another cartel." And he wrote a series of books called Codenamed The Fox about his deep cover work in cartels. So I picked up the first book. I'm going to dig into it, and it's really exciting.
Nice.
There's John A. Douglas.
Leave the temple alone. Yes,
Oh.
but
FYI, John A. Douglas, I'm not playing a Catboy. What am I playing? I'm playing basically the equivalent of a Dark Elf, or what are they called? Dusk White Alezen or something. This game's got to have their own fancy names for what's basically just like humans, elves, what have you.
Yeah, he also looks really gay.
It's like most of the characters in this game. Oh,
Everybody
speaking
says
of
you
which-
got to read Otter's book.
Speaking of which, I need to get back to Evely on a certain project. I just started into a bit of it today. I'm really looking forward to it. It may or may not have something to do with this upcoming book that is getting close to completion.
Nice. All right, Otter, what class are you playing in Path of Exile 2?
So I chose Monk. And he's a little fragile, but it's still a lot of fun to play. I played a little bit of it last night, and I was having a good time with it.
Yeah, I gotta get.
Is that single player?
Yes.
it's
Well, you
multiplayer.
can play multiplayer. It's I don't know if you'd call it an MMO. It's like it's a lot like Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and how it's set up.
Okay.
Yes, I'm assuming eventually when you get to in-game content, you are gonna have to start doing group content with other players.
I think the point where I put Path of Exile 1 down is when you get halfway through the campaign. I don't know if it was just how I was playing my character or something, but there's like a huge difficulty spike right after that halfway point. And I must have been like under-leveled with equipment or something. I'm not sure. But you get back to where you started in the beginning of the game, and it's like, holy shit, these enemies are wrecking me.
You probably had to do a little bit of grinding on your character, or you fucked up.
Probably.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I quit about the time that the game stopped working on Mac, and I think the support was kind of abandoned. PoE 2 is not going to be on Mac, so I'm going to need to buy a machine, I think. There's no way
Yeah.
around it.
So I did look it up. Apparently, Grinding Gear Games was acquired by Tencent in 2018, so this is a full-blown Tencent title, if that matters to anybody.
I will say one thing: the fucking price, like the shop prices, are insane in that game.
10 cent. I know that.
That's a Chinese company that buys everything.
Oh,
Yeah, they own they own Epic Game Studios. They want to own Ubisoft. They own Grinding Gear Games. They're slowly taking over the video game industry.
Well, I will say, in the defense of the game, it does have really good voice acting. The writing so far has been pretty good. The OST is pretty good.
The story's a bit more original this time around, I noticed. The first game, it's like it has decent writing, but the plot was very like it's very much like a Diablo game where it's like it's there, but it really doesn't matter that much.
It's more Diablo.
To be fair,
than
this one I don't
Diablo
think
now.
it matters that much either. I just know like you go around and there's like each area has like a posting from the main villain, the Count, who's just like an evil fucking douchebag.
Well, this is Grim Dark World. Everybody's an evil douchebag.
Yes, even your characters are evil douchebags.
Yes.
Because
I also like to think that Path of Exile, Diablo is like they're both like good examples of like grimdark done well, where it's like yes, everything's horrible, but at the very least we're having fun with it.
Murdered hobos.
Yes, everything is dark and horrible, so it's basically Halloween world.
where's Jack Skellington?
That there wasn't a like a pumpkin head boss or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, where is it? There has to be it here somewhere.
Sam Hain from the Real Ghostbusters.
The what?
Remember the TV series The Real Ghostbusters?
Mm-mm.
Sam Hain was one of the reoccurring ghost villains. Big old pumpkin head guy.
I believe Sam Hain is a Somalian god that's has something to do with either hoodoo or voodoo. One of the two.
No relation to Johnny Somali.
Everlay, are you saying he was Rangs?
We was rangs, yo.
See you later, Everlay.
Have a great night, Everly. Thanks for
Good night.
stopping in.
Yeah,
Good night, Emily.
Emily.
Godspeed, good sir.
All right, back to it. All right, you're playing a little game, Monk Otter. We know.
Well, right now I'm playing well, not so little Gay Alezen Dragoon.
What?
My Final Fantasy character.
All right, don't ever say that character's race again. 'Cause it's even more gay.
Alezen, all right? They're not elves, they're Alezen, all right?
So they're Chinese elves.
Japanese elves.
Are they Chinese or Japanese?
Sorry,
Eleven.
Chinese or Japanese?
11s?
A lezen. It's a weird way of saying elf.
Lesbian?
Like Final Fantasy loves to have its own like convoluted way of like mixing up familiar tropes. At least recent Final Fantasy. Older games, not so much.
The next race should be called 12in or something.
Do they come riding in on a horde of chocobo?
Yes, more or less.
Just
Like,
rename
like
them
I'm
as people.
convinced the writers for this expansion I'm playing through were on drugs because you're riding a sparkly golden dog on the moon.
That sounds like pretty basic Japanese stuff, to be honest.
That actually sounds strange. What kind of dog is it?
I forget the exact breed.
A sparkly dog.
It's a sparkly golden dog.
Must be a golden
Shiba.
retriever.
The Shiba Inu?
It's also the guardian of the moon.
Interesting. What if there's any lore behind, like Japanese lore behind that?
There is a race of bunny people on the moon too. That's very weeaboo. Very weeaboo. Now I know there is like actual mythical roots for that, where there's a lot of legends of like rabbits being on the moon and stuff like that.
And Dragon Ball, Goku beat a fucking rabbit that turns.
Yeah, where we see a man on the moon in the southern hemisphere, they look up and they see a rabbit on the moon because it's upside down and it resembles rabbit ears.
Huh. I
No,
remember
they just been
some.
smoking a lot of crack frequency. Okay.
I remember some old historical artwork from like medieval times or something that was two rabbits that were basically shaking down a dude for his coins.
Listen, they really hated rabbits. It's all.
They need to mug people for their carrot habit.
Yep.
So you're saying, what's his name? The hunter from Looney Tunes was actually in the right. You know, he should have been killing Bugs Bunny.
Be very quiet.
Kill the rabbit, kill the
funniest
rabbit.
thing
I'm
is from
hunting rabbits on the moon.
the funniest thing. Technically, the Meat Canyon's Roger Rabbit or Bugs Bunny video is canon for Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers copyright claimed it,
Hmm.
and it's Bugs Bunny taking advantage of the hunter. That's all I'll say about the video. Warner Brothers decided to copyright it, so technically it's canon.
You know
Is
the
this
one
where he
thing-
dresses up as a girl bunny and seduces Elmer Fudd?
No, literally just forcefully makes the hunter drop the soap.
No.
Like that's the video. I don't know if you, Otter, you know who Meat Canyon is. I've shown you some of his shit.
Yeah. I watched his Hawk Tua video fairly recently. It was really funny.
You got what? The funniest one. I sent Otter. It was a Taylor Swift one, in which he like wrote like a mock song of Taylor Swift in the video. And
So
like,
speaking of which, how about that Tua coin?
we've already been over it.
Okay, well I'm late to the party.
right into the crapper and straight to jail.
Yep. She's going to be remembered for BJ jokes and crypto scam.
We'll
Ha.
see if she goes
Yep.
to jail. I'm
Funny
not
that
so
you think
convinced.
you remember, Otter.
I'm not convinced she's going to be going to jail. We'll see.
Hey, look at it this way. Now's a perfect time to buy that Hawk Duo coin dip.
Yeah, you may not be wrong. That's the worst part of it. I mean, I don't recommend it, but
She gave her own coin, the old Hawk Tua.
there's a lot of people who buy the very bottom because sometimes it just hiccups back into profit.
That would be hilarious, though, if it did. Buy it as a joke and then it skyrockets.
I mean, something recently happened like that. There was a young kid who was doing a coin. I forget what the name is, and he was scamming everybody. And he got to, I don't know, 300 million market cap, and the kid what he owned was worth like $40,000, and he just went crazy. He went like he just sold everything, and he made fun of everyone who was buying his coins. He says, "Hey, fuck you guys! I scammed you," and people were so pissed that this kid is like barely a teenager, like 13 years old or something like that, and he was just like making fun of all the quote unquote people who invested in this coin. And everybody decided to pump the coin after he had sold everything, and they made the coin back up to $400 million value, and kind of doubled what he would have made if he had not sold it, just to spite the kid. And then they took all his family members and turned them into meme coins, and sort of like are dragging him through the mud now for making fun of the community, quote unquote community.
Oh, why are they taking his family members?
Because they want to teach him a lesson for having like taken everyone's
Being a
money and
piece of
rug
shit.
pulled it. Yeah, just basically being a piece of shit. It is going a little extreme on my camera. Go out. It is a bit extreme going after the family.
Also, who's this person in that picture?
No clue. I'm gonna change cameras here. I think
Thought
How
I
much
was going to
cameras
see a
do you have?
honey badger.
Yeah, I thought you were just like I thought you were like the Adams family. You know, the
Listen.
Hey,
Ham-
that
I did a face reveal on a previous episode of Proof of Comics. Check it out. Screenshot it.
Yeah, we weren't
that
talking about
reminds
face
me.
reveal. I thought you were just a disembodied like hand.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all I
Fame.
am now. Yeah.
Thing, I think
Frederick.
it's called.
Frederick,
Yes.
are you ever gonna get like a Rattel of mask done?
A mascot.
Mask,
Oh, a mask. That would be freaking awesome,
yeah,
right?
like
Yeah.
like a silk one you just slip over your head.
Yeah.
Rattel. I
Yeah.
freaking wear that on stream.
That'd be awesome. Like with the individual goggles and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah. We also make a version that that picture where it's like one of the goggles is shattered and
Yeah,
his
I
face
love
is a
that.
little bloody.
Love that.
Get one made that's like that's kind of mangled like that one that
Yeah,
matches that panel.
You should be able to swap them out and like put a
Right.
quote unquote broken one that's kind of actually safe to wear but appears broken or
that'd be
something.
cool. I'd buy that.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, man, I need to. Well, I'm focusing on finishing the comic #1 before going ape shit on merch and stuff. But it is fun to think about that stuff. For
That
sure.
would be cool though. Imagine you release your #1, and there's a version of it that comes with a mask. I think people would dig that.
Yeah, that would be cool for sure.
Hey, what happened with the cards?
Well, I printed them and I handed a bunch of them out at the Adopting Bitcoin conference, and I've got a bunch of them laying in my office over here. So if you guys want some, just DM me and send me your address, and I'll send you a copy.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
I've got art coming your way, Wrangler. I'll slip a sticker and a card in there for you.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
James, you got that art piece, right? The latest one I sent you.
Yes, sir.
You had a sticker and card in there, I believe.
Does it?
Pretty sure. Did you have a look inside?
Yeah.
I
I'll
think
take a
I-
second look. Are you sure? Because I
Look
was
under
done
your
2
chair.
months ago, 3 months ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think you at least got one of the two. I'm pretty sure. Maybe just a
I'll
sticker
take
or
a
something.
look.
I hope I'm right.
Give me un momento. I'll take a look at it.
'Cause I
He
did
hid it
s-
in the back cover.
I did send it to. Yeah, I think I put it in the envelope with the original art. I kind of packed them nice. I give them individual like transparent sleeves, so they're all like in plastic sleeves, and then I put them in a vanilla envelope and then paste that between foam core boards so it doesn't get folded and damaged along the way. And it's about 20 bucks shipping, a little extra with the material, but it's worth it. You want your art to get in there because you can't replace the art, so you can't gamble on whether or not it's going to get damaged.
Yeah, but that last one you just finished up, dude, that looks like a full-blown comic book cover.
It really does.
Which one? Oh, you're the Hollywood one? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it helps that the sign is right above the top of the page. I think it
Yeah.
really gives it a cover feel to it. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I was looking at that. I'm like, wow, that's like phenomenal.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, man. Glad you like it.
Oh, by the way, did you scan that one already, or?
No, not yet. I should get to that. Yeah, I'll try to get to that tomorrow.
Sweet, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Get you the scan ASAP. Then I got to handle the stuff with the post office. I've got a bunch of stuff to ship out, but we're in a post office strike right now. So the only way to get stuff out is through FedEx and other, the private companies. But they don't offer any service at their counters. So what you got to do is you have to have your own. You have to be able to weigh your own envelopes and stuff at home. You have to be able to print your labels.
That does surprise me though, because the FedEx office around here, you go in, they'll do all that for you. I mean, they would prefer that you print out your label and stuff and have it ready to go because you bring it in, they just scan it and they're like, here's your receipt. But they can set all that up in shop for you if you need them to.
Yeah, no, we're kind of getting less and less services for higher and higher costs lately on everything, food, mail, post. Like it's pretty dire for Canadian families this winter.
Yes.
What
I
are you
found
selling there, James?
I found them. They were actually in the back. I didn't see them. They were slipped in the back of the image.
Oh, nice.
This one here, it is excellent card.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna put this in my large card collection.
Nice.
Got the stats on there and everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I did a kind of a estimate of the stats. Marvel cards go up to 7. My cards go up to 8. So we're like way better than Marvel cards.
Well, when I make my cards, they're going to go up to 11. I don't know.
He drew for me.
Nice.
Yes, it's very beautiful. It was on the back. I didn't see it, but it was slipped in here at the back. So that was cool to find. It's a good Easter egg.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Gonna have to laminate those in the future.
The originals? Yeah, don't laminate them. The
Well, put them
original,
behind.
a glass, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, for sure. Frame them, yeah,
Put them in a nice frame.
yeah, for sure.
Now, for the next commission, you got to do a talking sandwich.
Dude, I'm seeing those in my my nightmares now. It's like,
All right. Do a nice drawing of Pizza the Hut.
oh man, I should
Yeah.
watch
I mean-
another. I should watch Spaceballs again. That's such a good film.
Listen,
If
Frederick,
you,
you need to
uh,
draw a character of the Hawk 2 chick in like prison.
If you do make a ping art thing, I totally use it.
Bean
That'd be
coin.
That wouldn't be a hard commission for you to do, Frederick. Just draw a sandwich with an open mouth and closed mouth.
Oh no, that'd be pretty easy depending on the level of detail you want. But yeah, that's a pretty quickie.
Now, James, can you have your sandwich? Can you have your computer make an anime version of that sandwich?
I mean, if I tried hard enough, I'm sure I could figure it out.
It's just gonna have like Disney eyes and then like blush over it. There you go. That's
Less
anime
detail.
sandwich.
And then it'll go Super Saiyan. All the lettuce turns into this glowing gold color.
Just has like the glowing mane of like golden Goku hair.
That'd be funny. But anyways, guys, I actually have to head out. My dog's bothering me. Thinking about taking for a walk.
Hmm.
So
Alrighty.
Bye-bye, world.
Take care,
See you
James.
Give the pooch a scratch on the head for us. There he goes, off to walk the dog.
And just like that, he was
Imagine,
gone.
imagine
was
that.
that?
A
Who-
sandwich walking a dog.
Who was that mass sandwich?
He was the masked sandwich.
The undead are planning to attack, and it's up to Gwendolyn the gnome to deliver word to the humans before they're taken by surprise. Glimmerleaf, link in the description.
I can't believe a sandwich made that. But then again, this is an otter talking, so what do I know?
The Otterman Empire.
Oh, man.
Man,
Oh man, that would be. Oh, I'm gonna add that in my universe. Otterman.
Yeah, currency will be clams. The death sentence will be death by stoning.
I hereby claim copyright of Otterman at this timestamp. It has been official now.
I'll just call it the Otter Weasel Empire.
Otterman makes it sound like a superhero. You know, he has a Who was that masked otter? I don't know. I think he's a
Who
furry
was
or
that
something.
water weasel?
Who's that water weasel? I feel like it's Pokemon now, but with otters.
Oh, that could be cool.
That really could be cool. Ottermon.
So, have you written your about the otter section in your second book?
Not as of yet. That's like the last thing I write. That in my glossary, that's always like the last thing I write when
I
it
just want to
comes
make
to
sure
it.
you don't forget it. I know. I got to remind you.
I actually need to write my glossary here soon. Things are slowly kind of like things are slowly being polished up with this book. I'm actually getting pretty close to being done. There's only like a couple of places I can think of where I'm doing like slight rewrites. It's mostly just stuff that Sybil or Man Behind the Screen have caught. Other than that, like I'm pretty much just like cleaning up the writing just a little bit and then putting on the final touches.
So, Otter, in your opinion, what do you think makes a great villain?
That's a good question.
That's a broad question. I don't think they have to be sympathetic, though I think that can certainly work. I know that's one of the first things people usually bring up whenever they think of a good villain. What I think it really comes down to is they have to feel like their own person. Like whether they are sympathetic or just plain evil, even if their motivations are simple, they should still feel like a person. The overall goal, I think, is you don't want them to feel like a caricature. Like they're just meant to fill a role in the story, and that's it. That usually makes for some of the flimsiest villains out there, and I hate it. So it's like, even if you just want your character to be like comically evil, I still think you can add little bits of depth to make it feel like they're still a person. Like at the very least, they're having fun with it, or something like that.
So, what did you think of Hades and Disney's Hercules?
Hades was great. I thought it was a very unique take on kind of like Hades, because here's the thing, like let's be honest, like Hades is usually depicted as the villain in Greek mythology, rather erroneously too, because all of the Olympians are kind of douchebags in their own right.
They also do the mistake of just making him the devil.
Right. They basically just make Hades a Satan figure, when in reality he's just one of the Olympians. Like they're all a bit morally ambiguous in a lot of ways.
They do that a lot with Hel from Norse mythology as well. There is
Yeah.
nothing anywhere in mythology that suggested she was villainous in any way. In fact, everything points to her being very much respected.
Right. So it's like whenever you have Hades kind of like depicted as sort of like a Satan figure, which that's kind of what Hercules does, but it does it in a very unique way where they go full on with the lawyer angle. And I'm like, okay, that's fun. Like, even if you're going at it with a rather kind of like predictable route, like that's a fun way to mix it up. And for me, it's like, I'm not going to say Hades is like the deepest character out there because he's not. But at the
It was
very
his
least,
personality, I think.
yeah, it gives him personality. He's not just filling a role at that point. He's an actual person.
And you're wearing his merch.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm saying that as somebody who has decent few problems with that movie. I'm not gonna say it's like my least favorite Disney movie or anything like that, but I do have problems with Hercules mainly, and this is a problem with a lot of Disney movies, how they kind of disrespect the original source material. But that said, with creative license and everything, I really like some of the decisions they made, and Hades is like the best part of it, straight up.
Yeah, I did something very different from most pop culture with Hades. In my story, he stands side by side with Uriel, the angel, and they guard the gates of hell.
Yeah.
Once again, Hades is not evil. He's literally just taking care of the dead.
I love reading the Greek myths because it's like, it felt like for the longest time until I actually sat down and read through a lot of the stories, I thought like Greek myths were just kind of like this very like flowery, flamboyant type of kind of like mythos. And to a certain degree it is, but you actually read through it and I'm like, this is kind of epic. It's kind of amazing in a lot of ways. I will say that I like Norse mythology a bit better. It resonates with me a bit more. That
But
said,
North gets bonkers.
yeah, it gets bonkers, and that's why I love it. It's absolute batshit, and it's awesome.
But Norse is also, the gods aren't like the Greek. The Greeks are assholes and not really good to humanity. The ones in Norse are more closely.
A good comparison I can make for the Norse gods is, I think Dark Souls is very Norse. It kind of embodies a lot of the Norse like ethos in that, like where the gods they're just partially removed from humans. They're basically more powerful humans, and they've got their own society and everything. They are worshipped, but it's not like it's not the most important thing in the world, and it's all about them kind of like trying to defy the inevitability of fate over like long periods of time. And Dark Souls, I think, captures that feeling really well.
I'm going to have to play that one of these days.
Well, Dark Souls is all about like the fading of the flame, the age of fire coming to an end. Norse mythology, at the end of the day, it's about what will happen after Ragnarok, because Ragnarok is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just who lives, who dies, how is the world going to be transformed after the fact.
Matter of fact, I think it was Christian missionaries were using that Ragnarok did happen and God was the surviving.
Yeah, that was kind of their retcon.
Yeah.
But it was a way for them to try to help convert Norse.
And it's tough to tell because a lot of the accounts we have of the old Norse mythology was recorded by Christians later on, so they put their own spin into it. So it's not. We probably will never have the true original stories that were come out of that. But and it's funny, if it weren't for Marvel, the world would never even know it was stuck in a library somewhere.
One of the coolest things.
I'm going to slightly disagree. People knew what Norse mythology was before Marvel.
Barely, though.
One of the more interesting things about Norse myth is great. Now I'm losing my train of thought. It's literally the worst time to lose your train of thought, by the way. It is the all right, ignore that I said anything because I completely lost my train of thought.
And that's why it's called winging it.
Yep.
Anyways.
Oh yeah, that's right. Beowulf. Beowulf is a great example of a Norse tale being converted to a Christian tale over time. I know a lot of people hate the fact that it is converted to a Christian tale. I'm like the one guy who actually thinks it's kind of awesome in a weird way.
Was I not heard?
Nah, we didn't hear you say anything.
Oh, I said another one who gets a bad rap quite a bit is Ares. He's often portrayed as the villain.
Yes, Ares is often portrayed as the villain, and it's usually dumb whenever they do portray him as a villain. He's like a very generic type villain.
Yeah, there's an actual reason like behind that. It's the kind of postmodern view of war. That all war is bad. It's never justifiable wars.
I will say
I'm trying
this.
to portray him as a heroic type, but a little too rambunctious for his own good sometimes.
I will say this, one of the Olympians that is normally portrayed as a villain, and it kind of makes sense, is Zeus himself. Zeus makes a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Oh, Zeus has got a
have you
pride
heard this
problem.
story before, Otter? King insults Zeus and the gods. Zeus transforms into king, bangs his wife, child.
And it's usually some form of monstrosity, too.
Yeah, and it's like,
Or a demigod, it depends.
I know, but it's like, I think most of the stories end up with that if it's about his children. King was asshole. So that's most of the fucking stories with Zeus, to be honest. I'm always seeing. It's funny.
With the latest one, I'm going to be diving into a little bit of the South American mythologies.
So how many of you guys have seen the original Clash of the Titans?
All of us.
Oh wow.
I
Long
have
time
at
ago.
some point years ago, but I remember nothing of it.
Yeah,
I need
same.
to watch
You
that
don't
again.
remember Athena's little mechanical owl?
I've seen it. I've seen it. It's
Oh, yeah.
as a kid. It was awesome.
It's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite swords and sorcery movies. It's one I like to rewatch every few years. You get like that peak Ray Harryhausen stop motion going on, and a lot of it's janky, but it has its charm too. You get some really awesome scenes in there. I really like it. And the funniest thing is that movie is like mashing 2 or 3 great Greek legends into one. Like
yeah.
it's the tale of like Perseus, Theseus, and I think another hero all mashed into one character. Now it's just Perseus.
Has Medusa in it, I believe.
Yeah,
Right.
it has Medusa.
Medusa, what was it called?
Is that where her hair looked like it was all claymation or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
She has like snakes for hair and it's all claymation.
The
Keep in
original
mind, it's like an
CGI.
old movie, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's the inspiration for one of my villains in the
The
comic.
CGI version does not hold a candle. The claymation or the stop motion, it just has so much more heart and character to it. I don't care if it's janky. I love it.
Yeah, same.
Also,
This
love
chick
the-
looks familiar.
I love Perseus' death in
Hey, Yamaji.
God of War 2. Do you remember that one, Otter? Did you ever
I
play
actually
God of
haven't played God of War 2.
It
I
was-
want to play 1 and 2. Those are 2 games I've never gotten to play, and I kind of hate myself for not playing them.
The third one's still worth playing as well. I just like what the original story was supposed to be for the third one, which was supposed
Right.
to end with it was supposed to be a Norse version, like an Egyptian version of like Kratos showing up, and then at the end of it, they were supposed to kill all the gods, and they were supposed to be the 3 wise men for Jesus.
Oh, by the way, what is Maji playing? Hi, Maji.
Yeah, what is she playing?
Maji.
Maji might be on mute.
I'm going to be diving in a little bit to Tezcatlipoca, the evil brother of Quetzalcoatl, in the next book.
The what?
Quetzalcoatl. He's one of like I believe he's like one of the. He's either one of the Mayan or Aztec gods. I forget. which.
Aztec.
Aztec. Okay.
But I'm having it set up as he's. Have you heard of the Muisca people?
I probably have. It's just I can't recall it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name in the Muisca the Muisca mythology. But they were in they're Colombian tribes people, and they have their whole mythology and everything too. But I'm going to be drawing from that. I'm going to make the bad guy from the Muisca mythology the same individual as Quetzalcoatl's nasty brother.
Isn't
ju-
Tezcuatl something like a long flowery, or not flowery, a long dragon?
Feathery serpent.
Yeah, he's like a
Feathery serpent.
feather snake god.
Oh, we heard you, Maji.
Hey, Maji.
You're cutting out.
Breaking
Oh,
up a bit. Yeah, I remember reading something about him, but it's been a long time. I think there may have even been one of the AD&D book series that because they had, so besides like Forgotten Realms and the other major world things, they also had a series of like what was it? There was Al Qadim, which was kind of like a Middle Eastern type setting that you could sort of plop into any of the different worlds and stuff. So technically, you could have one in each of the different major worlds. I think there was a like a South American kind of culture like area as well that they did some products on, and a couple of books, and I think that's the one that I'm thinking of that covered Tezcuatl.
Yeah, but the whole reason I had to combine them with the Muiscas is because the Muiscas is one of the few things we have of mythology from the Amazon natives, and there is since there is a lot of overlap with the other Central and South American mythology, I decided to kind of blend them together because there's not much to go on, unfortunately.
Can you guys hear me at all?
We
I
can
hear you
now.
Okay, that is weird. If I disappear, I apologize. I tried to come in.
Don't worry. We're fixing to wrap up here soon.
what game is that, Maji?
This is Throne and Liberty. It's Amazon's newest free-to-play.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
I'm on a PvP tank. But no, it's actually a lot of fun. Grind's kind of grind, but that's what you get with free-to-plays.
Well, it's
not
also
bad.
a Korean game, so it's going to be grindy as fuck.
Oh yeah, easily. But I mean, it's kind of cool because it's more PvP than PvE. There is some PvE aspects, but yeah, it's just a little fun. It's a grind, like I said. But for free to play, it's not bad, and you can play on PC and console. I'm on console. Soon they're gonna have PC commands for console, which will be nice because then I could ditch the controller and go straight from my keyboard. But so like right now, at night in the public dungeons, it's PvP, and this particular dungeon drops very rare chests. And so you get, as you saw, I was fighting a player earlier, and now I'm a tank, so I can't really kill ads very well. But that's all right. It's more practice for me anyway, so that I can get better at staying alive. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I'm just on a very boring character.
Staying alive.
Yeah, I know, right? The only thing I hate about this game is during the tutorial you have a bunch of weapons to choose, but whatever you choose, that's it. It's very, because of how grindy it is, you can't really go beyond that in terms of selection and change like halfway through or something. So I originally started out as a wand and staff. Because of that, I was only able to swap out my staff for the sword board. I still have the wand. But I mean, I'm really hard to kill.
Yeah,
It's
I've
all
seen
part
you.
of being a
I've
tank.
watched your D&D on live stream before. You're practically in the middle of explosions. And you're like, I'm fine.
Blow up an orc camp and just say, "Have a blast."
Now, did one of you guys mention Middle Eastern mythology?
I think that was Raven talking about it. It was part of some of the original lineup of settings that were being
Yeah.
kind of like put out for like I think it was first edition. They had a lot of those settings.
Yeah, so first edition they actually had a book that was like Oriental's something or other. But then also for second edition they started out coming out with more different ones. Like there's a Middle Eastern one, so it's kind of like you're out in the desert. You got genies, all sorts of stuff like that. Mazdaca was the setting that I was thinking of. That's the South America one. That's very very Aztec based. And
Yeah, there's the Incan and the Aztec. But
one of the
but
weapons.
Quetzalcoatl comes from the Aztec.
Yeah, one of the weapons that they had was like those obsidian. Dang it, I can't remember what they're called. They're not swords because they're more like a large.
They look like
paddle or something.
Yeah, they look like flat baseball bats with nasty shards all around the edge.
Yeah,
Those things are brutal, and when they hit somebody with that, those folks are prone to get infection after that.
yeah.
So even if you survive the attack, there's a good chance you'll die of infection later on. Those things are nasty.
Although when it was placed in like the Forgotten Realm setting, you've got or I guess you got medieval knights in full blown plate armor attacking, people with those, and it just does not work out for the obsidian people.
No. I've been diving into Persian mythology myself, and one of the folks that end up in the Amazon, she's a not so nice sorceress who keeps tapping into the diva, or I don't think it's pronounced diva. I could be wrong. It might be pronounced diva, but the diva from Persian mythology. You got, and it's kind of funny. You heard of the 7 deadly sins? You got seven. You got 7 demonic beings. One is called Ashma, and he represents anger. Another is called Akamana, and he represents bad thought. Then you got Bushyasta, who represents sloth. Apasha, who represents drought. Nasu, who represents death or corpse. Yatu, who represents sorcery. And Parika, who represents fairy.
I know it has something. Okay. Now, Persian mythology is very, very interesting. Most people don't really actually know it either, which I find even more interesting, considering the fact that Persia at one point pretty much ruled half the known world.
Yeah, well, a lot of it got pushed aside for the more Muslim faiths.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny how they went from flying carpets to jihad. It's like these are the same folks, the same lineage, but yeah.
Mistake. Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry.
Otter, that's what we need to get from Flash Gets As Well clip. The if Aladdin was historically accurate.
Oh, that fucking video.
Oh boy, that would get us in so much trouble.
Listen, I'm like, technically, it's not wrong. Jinn are fucking evil. Don't trust the rest.
Oh yeah, they're nasty.
Also, don't free a genie. You become a fucking Jinn.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation. Another thing I've been learning more and more. Technically, I've known this for I've always known about this, or at least for several years, but I've especially been learning it more and more as I've been doing a bit of research, and hell, especially when we've been playing Castles and Crusades. Don't trust fey creatures at all, or fairies or anything.
Oh no.
Fight the fairies! You fight those fairies! Fight the fairies!
They lure you in with promises of boobs, and then they drown you or just utterly destroy you. Depends.
Yeah, Christian's gonna be so happy when he comes back from the next session. His true lover, the hag.
Yeah, he's got a debt to pay to the hag.
No, he don't got no debt to pay. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, nothing at all. Christian, if you're watching this, you heard
He's not
nothing.
watching. So we're good.
Good.
But we can never bring it up again.
Yeah, no, I actually, in my story, there are a couple of fae. They're tricksters, a little bit of assholes. Yeah, they're fun.
I think the most innocent fey creature that you guys ended up coming across in our campaign so far was a nymph who was bathing in a pond, and that was right before you guys got mauled by giant birds.
Now, one of mine is good, but still trickster.
Hey, at least I wasn't the group who brought in a fucking whatever the snake head creature thing.
the Penangalan.
That's on Blackwood Frequency and Christian, y'all.
Well, that ain't fey.
That's just nasty.
Yes.
Listen, my dog got the final fucking blows.
It's like a straight up Indonesian vampire.
Listen, Otter, it was perfect. My dog got the final blow.
He really did. He was best boy.
Oh my god, my teammates are fucking retarded in this game.
The only thing I hate about this particular game is if you die, you spawn nowhere near where you're fighting, so you have to run your ass back. I died, and now I have to.
Well, no,
sneak
you
one
should.
back.
No, Maji, I'm actually gonna have to call you out on this. You should be used to this for Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, I know. But Elder Scrolls Online, the Waste Shrines were a hell lot closer than this game.
Oh my god, why are my teammates so shit?
Don't worry, I will send you back up right now.
It's the same old theme since 1916. Eorhead, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. Eorhead, they are dying.
I am playing my bossing character for this fucking mission, and I have 2 other mobbing characters who are not doing mobbing. They fucking suck.
You guys just
Holy
see that?
shit.
I bashed the guy off the damn dock.
By the way, Maji, I'm using a beam rifle. That's
Okay.
a good mobbing weapon. If I wasn't using it, our teammates would be dead.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh my god. Idiots.
So this is a pleasant surprise seeing you drop in, Maj. How things been going for you?
Been surviving the Christmas season.
That's not easy to do.
Yeah, that's
it's-
rough.
It's starting to slow down a little, to be honest. Now that all the sales and crazy is over, there's only going to be that last little rush right before. But it's.
I, mean,
it's
I figured it was going to be
normalized.
a month-long thing.
Normally it is, but this year's been. I think we could thank Bidenomics for it.
Yep.
It's been a really. It's going to be a rough quarter, that's for sure. But that's okay.
So, anyways, how is ESO doing now?
I don't know. I haven't played it in a while. I know they canceled. I find it funny. They canceled their North American. They canceled their North American big conference. So my guess is they're probably hurting pretty bad.
I haven't heard anything about it, so
Well, they're like, they're like, due to Amsterdam, it was we regret to inform you that the North American convention is going to be canceled, and I'm like, probably because you've lost so much of your fan base from leaning one direction and ignoring half of them telling you to knock it off and fix PvP.
What was the last expansion, by the way? It looked like very lazy.
I don't know. I bought the Necrom one for the new character, but I never even did the storyline because I was so fed up with the bullshit at that point. Before that one came out, they released a couple of dungeons, but it came out so broken. Especially PvP breaks, like physically breaks the game. As you can tell, I like PvP. But it came out so broken that people were dying to invisible attacks, not by players, but by their armor. Like
What?
there was an helmet that would shoot you with invisible crystals. It's supposed to be like a mirror fragment. It was supposed to go off, but it was so broken it would just randomly go off in all directions in PvP and just murk you. I stopped playing at that point. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm not playing against armor. I'm playing against players.
Oh my! All right, I'm at the boss now, and of course, I'm doing the mobbing and the bossing.
What are you mobbing?
Why am I not mobbing?
No, what are you mobbing?
Enemies in the boss room. Yeah. And I'm doing all the boss damage as well. So it's great.
So I did something a little different tonight.
Ha!
I made a Blue Sky account
Why?
so I could post a bunch of stuff from my book and maybe somebody will buy it.
Why Blue Sky? Why Blue Sky? Okay, why?
Because there are people on there and somebody might want to read the book.
True.
Good
Hey,
luck.
a lot of the folks over there like to read Harry Potter. If they enjoy that, they might enjoy Haley.
Yeah, that's true. Haley is your their demographic, young heroic girl.
So I went looking for some interaction. So I typed in indie Metroidvanias, and there are people posting about that over there. So I went looking through, saw some cool stuff, commented, yeah, this looks dangerous. I just spent the last 2 weeks playing Metroidvanias, and if I pick up another, I won't get any of my own work done.
Well,
So, and then somebody actually went and started hitting like. Not even somebody I hit a like or comment on their profile. Somebody completely unconnected ended up hitting like on the artwork I posted of Haley, and I'm like, okay, cool. So there's some engagement there. So I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling through this one guy who posted a few things on Metroidvanias I found interesting. So as I'm scrolling through, I find out he's doing a playthrough on Dragon Age. I'm like, I guess I should have expected that, but.
so I think it's about time to start wrapping this up.
All right.
Out.
I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't realize I was standing in the geyser.
Yeah.
Hi.
Surprise.
I don't really have anything to shill, so hi.
All right. Otter.
Well, if you want to check out the Otter's writing, you can find his first book, The Curse of the Star Raids. Ooh, that music is loud. You can find The Curse of the Star Raids on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, all the big retailers. I am currently in the later stages of getting the second book polished up, and I am going to be sharing out more of that very soon. There's going to be more artwork and a bit more of a major presentation this time around for the big reveal. So be on the lookout for
Sweet.
that.
Steel and Stormbright, The Curse of the Star Wraiths. An exciting sword and sorcery adventure about two brothers trying to make their way in a harsh world. Link in the description.
So, in the meantime, if you want to check out my Substack writing or my YouTube channel, you can also find those. I'm on downstreampulp.substack.com and I'm on YouTube. Lord Otter, as always.
Frederick.
imakecomics.com. It'll forward you to Rattel Comic, where you can follow the progress of Rattel. I'm on page 16 now, so we're getting close to the last part of the first issue there, coming along.
Sweet.
And on Tuesdays, I've got a YouTube channel as well called Proof of Comics. Proofofcomics.com will take you to my YouTube live. And tomorrow we've got a special guest, Animated Moon, who's a
Awesome.
a talented animator who's working on the comic book at the moment. So we'll have a bunch of questions to ask him.
Oh, nice.
It'll be
I've
interesting.
hired Moon in the past. I will totally hire him again. If anyone asks for a recommendation, I will give it full endorsement.
I also want to give out a quick shout out to the artist Corey Barton. He just did a couple of pieces that will be showing up for book 2, and he is a stellar artist. Highly recommend checking out him as well.
Skunk's Workshop also, man.
Oh,
yes. Oh, the water.
Yeah. Skunks has done an amazing piece. I can't wait to show. I've been debating whether or not I want to show it when the book's ready or just to show it like during Comic Shop Wednesday or something.
Oh, he did art for your Solar book?
He did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that.
I hope there's more waters.
I've actually been able to get some writing in this holiday season, luckily, but it's still taking some time. In the meantime, though, I would suggest Record of the Paladins by McCoppin.
Frequency.
You can find my stuff on Amazon.com, Haley Star Bad Kitty, and the follow-up Bad Kitty Haley's World. Good sci-fi magic-fueled adventure. Check them out. They're a good time. Characters are a lot of fun. You'll get a kick out of them. You can also find me on Substack, the X Twitter, Truth and Minds, and now, if you feel like it, Blue Sky, all under Frequency Studios.
Nice. All right.
Billy Bob, you got anything tonight?
Nope.
Make sure to follow him on Only Gremlins.
That's right.
And he's got a new review of Rook's Exodus. Excellent comic book.
Yes, I ended up watching that the other day. It was very good. I really enjoyed watching it.
And see, we're going to show for you whether you like it or not.
You will
Anyway,
learn
thank
to
you
shill.
so much,
You will.
everybody, for joining us tonight. It was a good time. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless. Mugwai.
Squeak, squeak.
Bonsoir.
Hi.
Good night.
And I'm going to do it just one more time. Here we go.
Jewish space laser.
Good night, everybody.